win in the SEC this year. Saw Dennis Gates, there's Chris Beard. We are ready to go. Sold every ticket, had students take over 4,000 tickets for this game, a top 25 matchup. Chiefs don't play till tomorrow. All the focus is on Mizzou Arena.
You know what's great about this league? Every building that we go to, Richard, is like this, sellout crowds. It was interesting. Last week at a press conference, Chris Beard said, what do we want to do? We want to box out, rebound, then it's a 100-yard dash. Which team can get up and down the floor quicker? Well, you know what? Same matchup in today's game. Which of these teams can control the rebounding edge? We know they're good defensively. Which team can get out and find easy baskets against two very good half-court defensive teams?
Missouri at home in white. Ole Miss, the visitor, in red. Malik Dia will jump for the Rebels. For Missouri, it's Mark Mitchell. Garrett Shannon will toss the ball in the air as we get set. Mark Lennox and Landis Poole, the other two officials. Ole Miss controls the opening tip. Thanks for being with us for a top 25 matchup in the SEC on this Saturday night.
Padulu, Murray, and Morrell, three-guard offense. They've got good movement, all good shooters. Brakefield can bring any big man out for Missouri. Missouri switches almost every position.
Shot clock at 5. Jalen Murray on the wing, fires for 3, and
wow,
got it. What a start for Juju Murray.
And Mark Mitchell, because of his height, knew that Juju's going to take the one bounce and go up. Still couldn't stop it.
Anthony Robinson the second, Tony Perkins, Tamar Bates, Trent Pierce, Martin Mitchell, the starting 5 from Mizzou. They try to go inside, and the Tigers turn it over. Ole Miss out running. Malik Dia with the hammer.
I talked about Missouri switching everything. Ole Miss switches everything also. Missouri tried to get a quick slip. Good hands by the Ole Miss squad. Easy bucket on the other end. Mismatch, see what Mitchell does. Can he back Murray down?
Puts it on the deck, kicks it to the corner. Baseline drive, cut off, partially blocked by Dia. Shot attempt was by Perkins there.
Dia has had a fabulous start to the SEC season. Big numbers in some of the big games. Special against Alabama.
By Missouri, you see the lineup for Ole Miss. To the rack, rolls off the rim, and the rebound to Matthew Morrell. As early as this afternoon, he was still questionable, trending toward probable. Number 11 in the starting lineup after turning his ankle against A&M on Wednesday night.
I thought he had a good shoot around. He didn't go hard on it, but he could raise up and knock in jump shots. Can he take it off the bounce and get to the rim?
Padula with a hand in his face with the triple. Ole Miss hot early.
2 long shots by the 2 guards, both guarded by the forward Mark Mitchell. Obviously, it looks like they're trying to get that switch and like the guard play against the big.
2 minutes in, Ole Miss with an 8-0 lead. To the baseline, there's a double.
Rarely does Ole Miss let you swing the basketball.
Robinson dumps it into the post. Shot clock at 5 from the corner. 3 on the way, and good for Tamar Bates.
Sometimes when you play a great team like Ole Miss, it's one extra pass, and one more pass, and one more pass. Good swing of the basketball by Mizzou. Got their best shooter, the best look.
Some of the fans sit now that Missouri is on the board. The students do not. Brakefield dumps it off to Dia. No whistle. Shot was short.
Richard, I think there have been less whistles blown in the last week and a half of SEC basketball. Officials have either been told or they're just allowing teams to really play.
Lends to a little better flow.
I'm okay with it. There's great athletes, and their guys can handle even the push and shoving. Once they get used to a whistle either being blown or not blown, great players can understand.
Explosive move. First we go back and look at these threes. This was Padula with the hand in the face.
And that is a tough bucket, but you can see what they've done twice when they get the mismatch. They're going to try to take the big. This is just an extra pass. You know you're going to get doubled if you make the move against a Chris Beard team. Swing it, swing it, swing it one more time. Wide open shot for Tamar Bates.
Foul on Juju Murray. Chris Beard, second season as Ole Miss. Rebels won 20 games a year ago, first time since the 18-19 season. He's taken 3 different programs to the NCAA tournament. Little Rock, Texas Tech, and the University of Texas.
And he has won over 70% of his ball games, 13th amongst active coaches. The reason Missouri's been good on defense is because Ant Robinson is a great on-ball defender, elite level.
Pierce. Oh, it rolled off the rim, tipped around, he got it back. This time he flips it over the iron. Tied at 8. Ole Miss jumped out to an 8-zip lead. It's an 8-0 run for Missouri. A couple of turnovers by the Rebels. Murray with an open 3.
Perkins can't go under the screen. He allowed Murray open shot. He won't miss many of those. Good move.
Bates with the spin move off the glass for 2. And Mizzou is in front. Brakefield, a lot of dribbling. Into the corner to Padula. Dumps it down to Dia. Guarded by Mitchell. They dump it off. Brakefield off the glass, rim out. Ole Miss has had a couple of those at point break range. They haven't gotten to fall. Bates from the corner. That's another one.
Solid on the defensive end. The guards had to rebound for Missouri, the push, and again, it's ball movement, 12-0 run by this Missouri Tiger team. What an atmosphere.
Packed house in Columbia. Dia with the pull-up. Good look from Malik Dia.
He's got a smooth stroke, no matter if he's inside or outside. Great face-up shooter. Got to stay on that right arm.
Dia averaging 15 a game in SEC play, a little over 7 rebounds a contest.
And Mark Mitchell, when he has the ball, is a downhill player, likes to attack the rim. Here's numbers for Ole Miss.
They get it to Brakefield. Brakefield strong off the glass. We're tied at 12. Hey, miscommunication with Robinson over in front of the Ole Miss bench on that last turnover.
And now the first time we see Chris Beard changing up his defense. A little matchup zone. We'll see Missouri maybe change up defenses a little more often.
Mitchell, the Duke transfer, hands it off to Perkins. Perkins asking for the clear out. 5 on the shot clock, dumps it down. The kick out, down to 2, 3 on the way, too strong. Brakefield with the rebound. Shot wouldn't go that time for Trent Pierce. And now a turnover.
Lazy pass, can't do it. Guys are too active defensively on both squads.
Tamar Bates, tough shot. Brakefield tried to secure it, and he was fouled. Got to reach in there. What a start. 6.5 minutes in, 12 apiece. Missouri and Ole Miss.
The pace has been great from one end to the other. Good assists, good screens, great finishes. Gonna have a great night.
Tamar Bates, he's got 10 of Mizzou's 12.
You know, it's interesting for a guy like Bates, who does have great starts almost every game he's played. When you play a team like Ole Miss and they're gonna do some doubling, sometimes a team like the Rebels can't get to the shooter, even though he's on the scouting report. We can't let him have open shots. Because of the double team, because how they funnel one ways, if Missouri is efficient and moving the basketball and finding open guys, Bates is the one that's been the recipient of being wide open in the corner for open shots.
See the numbers for Bates, 3 of 4. He's got a couple of threes already. 48th time in his career that he's been in double figures, 15th this year. Didn't take him long today.
He has had some big games in both years as he's played a Missouri Tiger. The biggest was in the win against Kansas when he had the 29 points. Kansas City, Kansas kid. Went to Indiana for 2 years, then transferred to Mizzou. And he has been a fabulous player on both ends of the floor.
One of 6 players in the country shooting 50% from the field, 35% from behind the arc, and 90% from the free throw line.
Well, 94% from the foul line. I call him a free throw freak. He just does not miss.
Brakefield spins into the lane, cut off, flips it up, then gets the roll, and Ole Miss is back in front. Now a 6-0 run for the Rebels.
And Josh Gray now in the lineup at 7 feet. He should be able to protect the rim. Brakefield, no problem for him.
Gray, the South Carolina transfer. Caleb Grill also into the game for Mizzou.
Mismatch inside, Murray on Gray, but they can't find him.
And that was touched last by the Tigers, so Ole Miss basketball going the other way.
The reason the Chris Beard defense, why it works when they're aggressive, is they have to be aggressive on the ball. If you switch everything and you're not aggressive on ball defender, you can find openings. If you're aggressive on the ball, now you can't find teammates.
Gray ends up with it in his hands. This is Missouri wanting to run. Perkins aggressive to the rim.
Strong, physical guard. Transfer from Iowa.
You saw Dennis Gates on the sideline there from Missouri a year ago. Season 1 was a dream in a good way. Last year was a nightmare.
Yeah, didn't win a game.
This season has been a lot more fun. On the drive there for Ole Miss, Mikhail Brown-Jones, he was tied up. And the possession arrow favors Missouri.
You know, Dennis Gates and his staff had to make adjustments. A few guys came in, like a Tony Perkins from the University of Iowa, Mark Mitchell from Duke. But what they have become better at this year is their on-ball defense out top. And again, that starts with Ant Robinson, who's an elite on-ball defender. A guy like Tony Perkins comes in, an elite on-ball defender. They now can set their defense. They force more turnovers. And because they've got 5 guys that shoot over 50% from the field, a wide variety on the offensive end that can beat teams.
Padula guarding Perkins. Off the screen from Gray. There's a switch. And Grill turned it over. Travel.
And how quickly they will guard Grill. They do not want, the Rebels do not want Caleb Grill to get going. When he goes and he shoots it well, Missouri blows people out. When they win games, he averages nearly 15 points a game. In their losses, only 3 points a game. Texas bothered him. They grabbed him. They held him. He could not find many open looks against the Longhorns.
Grill's best game in SEC play came against Florida. 22 points. He was 7 of 11 from the field, 6 of 10 from behind the arc.
He's got unlimited range, and when he comes in, he's a guy that's a hired gun. He comes in looking for shots.
Coming up on a media timeout. David Barnes has come in for Ole Miss. Dia with the 3. No. It's a flat-footed shot from the perimeter.
It's a good release. He's got a good stroke. How quickly, though, the Rebels get back defensively. They want to stop everything that Mizzou has in the transition.
Bates this time off the back iron. There's an offensive rebound. Put back won't go. Gray with the rebound. He got it to go. 7 feet, 260 pounds. He is a grown man.
And think of when you switch everything and some of your bigs are outside guarding guards, that means your guards are going to have to guard bigs around the rim. Wow, what a shot.
Lula straight to the basket. He went down hard. And they stopped play. And that will take us to an official's timeout.
Unbelievable finish.
Tied at 16, 11:23 left in the first half. We're back to Missouri. He went down hard.
You know, it is concentration to finish that. You take a look, transfer from Phyllis.
For Sean Perdue.
Phil Self from the school over west of here. He was Edmond Memorial.
He's had success.
He's done okay. Did not do so
Missouri
well.
fans love him, right?
Did not do so well this year here. Partner, we're going to have a battle all night. Really good. Now, Ole Miss has 5 turnovers early in this game. All of them have been steals.
Right.
By Mizzou. That's not what Chris Beard wants.
Ole Miss 2 steals so far. Missouri has turned it over 4 times in the ball game.
Remember, I love the saying, box out, rebound, 100-yard dash. Go the other way.
What about make shots?
That always helps, doesn't it? Makes you a better coach.
All right, here we go. Anthony Robinson, the second, walks it up for Mizzou.
Keep an eye on Caleb Grill. He'll come off lots of screens to find the shots. They'll be switching that he doesn't get catches.
Mitchell working against Barnes. Jacob Cruz has come in for Missouri. Robinson, oh, he's in trouble down low. There's a steal for Ole Miss, their 3rd.
I tell you what, Rebels play like there's 7 defenders on the court. Not many avenues to find.
Dia from the elbow, left it short. And Caleb Grill pulls down the board.
Dia's pretty good if he goes straight up. Not as good when he fades away.
Here's Grill on a drive. Step back. Long two. Dead center. Good start for him.
Not in the scouting report to leave it. He had 2 guys on him, both guys left. He can put numbers up in a hurry.
That first one going in, how big a deal is that?
It's big for any shooter. First one goes down, especially really all net.
Dia in the post. Shot clock under 5. He hands it off, and there's a foul on Gray. Mikhail Brown-Jones headed to the free throw line.
So take a look, Caleb Grill on scouting report. You can't leave him. You got to stay with him. As he brings down, 2 guys pick up, no communication, wide open. Maybe a tougher shot for a good shooter because you're surprised you're open. But he's got one of the purest strokes in college basketball, coming off SEC Player of the Week last week. Outstanding player at Iowa State prior to coming to Mizzou.
Grill missed the last 23 games of the season a year ago. He's in his 6th year of college basketball.
A pretty big impact for Mizzou last year in losing all their games in the SEC was not having Caleb Grill for any of those games.
Padula back in. That is good news for Ole Miss. Malik Dia will take a break. Brown-Jones with both free throws, and we are tied once again. Feels like we might say that a lot today. Grill guarded by Morrell.
And Morrell gives him no space, but none of the defenders do for the Rebels. Look how closely Robinson's on the sideline. In trouble.
Able to get it out to Mitchell, but shot clock already down at 10. From the corner, Robinson. 3 is good. That's been a good spot for Mizzou.
The premium on making shots against either defense is at the highest level maybe of all season.
Murray guarded by Grill. Deep 3 for Padula, left it short.
Easy communication when you switch everything.
Grill left alone on the wing. Dead center. 2 shots, 2 buckets, 5 points. Caleb Grill.
And absolutely awful communication if you leave number 31 open.
It's happened twice.
Twice.
5-point lead from 6-point lead for Missouri.
If you're Ole Miss, anybody but number 31 could take the shot.
Brakefield working on Gray, kicks it out. Ball fake for Padula. Morrell from the corner. And a whistle underneath, a foul away from the ball. And that's going to go against Missouri. Mitchell, I think.
Every time against a tough Ole Miss defense, you have to have ball movement and you have to try to get the defense to move. If there's a breakdown by Ole Miss communication-wise, this is what can happen to any defensive team. Caleb Grill will take 2 wide-open shots and feel like, my goodness, it's the easiest I've ever had.
Pretty pure coming out of his hand.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. He's fun to watch warm up. Unlimited range, big, strong, solid, and I think within the last month of watching games under Dennis Gates, when he comes in, they want him searching for shots. Probably wasn't always that way early last season and then early this season.
Padula touched off the fingertips by Brakefield. Couldn't grab it. That's a turnover for the Rebels. They're 6th.
And the Rebels only average 9 turnovers a ball game. They're 7th in the country at fewest in a game.
Padula goes to the bench. David Barnes comes back in. Barnes, a transfer from Sam Houston. One of 7 1,000-point scorers on this Ole Miss team.
Solid player, good defender, can shoot it when he needs to.
Cruz, guys came in from UT Martin. Little heat check there for Grill. Now Ole Miss in transition. Brakefield goes right at Gray, draws the foul. Ole Miss not super aggressive in going to the rim in their last game against Texas A&M.
They only had 4 free throws against A&M, and 3 of those were towards the end of the game when they got fouled when they had the lead. They have to be more aggressive. They have to attack a decent shooting team that needs to get to the foul line.
Josh Gray picking up the foul there. Jamin Brakefield, really good story from Gary Parrish at CBS Sports that came out. Tell you about that in just a second. Coming up after this game, we'll take you to Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa for Mark Sears in number 4 Alabama as they host Camp Carter and LSU. That's after us tonight on the SEC Network. Jamin Brakefield grew up partially in Mississippi, partially in Wisconsin, played prep school ball in West Virginia. Met some good people along the way that kind of took him under his wing and created a great example. He met a young man while he was in West Virginia, according to the story from Gary Parrish, that he stayed in contact with when he went to Duke, and then he came to Ole Miss. Pierce from the corner, rebound for Barnes. Well, this past summer, things were not going as well for young Brandon, and Brakefield reached out with the idea of, hey, what would you think about coming and living with me in Oxford? And he has taken on a mentor role. Brandon now going to Oxford High School. Jamin Brakefield takes him to school in the morning, picks him up in the afternoons, and asks him 2 questions every day. How was your day, and do you have any homework?
Amazing story, amazing for a 24-year-old to be able to do that.
Foul there, going to go against Sean Padula, and that will take us to a timeout. Missouri with a 5-point lead, 24-19, 7:23 to go, half number 1.
Not all 5 or 6 have to shoot it well every night, but you'd sure like to have 3 or 4 of the 6, 3 of the 6. You don't need 1 of the 6 playing well. But because they're an unselfish team, they'll have a lot of games where they have a lot of assists on their made baskets. They move the ball, they find open shooters.
4 assists on the 9 makes so far for Missouri today. Ole Miss will be on the defensive end coming out of this break. Got the foul on Padula. Chris Beard and Dennis Gates just met at midcourt and said something to each other. No idea what that was about. Pierce. Look cordial. Cruz lost the handle, got it back, guarded by Brakefield.
Asking each other about their style of defense. Everything's physical. Body on body. Nobody off the bounce. Some of the subs in here trying to make moves. Defensively, Ole Miss trying to just keep everybody out of the lane.
Missouri 5 steals, averaging 10 a game. Ole Miss 3 so far. Like Grill thought about the quick trigger off the inbound. He's guarded tightly by Barnes.
Still thinking about the trigger, isn't he?
Trying to create some separation with that right forearm. Peyton Marshall is coming in. Big man in the middle for Missouri. Pierce, catch, shoot. And the rebound to Dia. Dia trying to go coast to coast, kicks it. Extra pass. Klafke with the ball fake. Eduardo Klafke off the mark.
Klafke, shooter. Freshman season. Father, a great player.
Ole Miss has missed its last 5. They're one of their last 7. Grill, hand in his face from the corner. Count the basket, and a foul on Dia bumped him on the closeout. Wow.
Anytime you're playing a great shooter, you've got to shield his way at least a half a step to a full step. He's not a normal shooter, so you can't give him even a little space. You want any shooter to be uncomfortable with a catch and release. Be there early, make him catch, put it on the floor at least a bounce or 2. Grill, been around a long time. You mentioned 6th year playing college basketball. He's in a good rhythm so far.
Why is he at such a different level, though, in terms of shooting the basketball? He's a 1,000-point scorer, but he's in his 6th year of college basketball.
Well, when you're 24 years old, you've been around. You've been through a lot of things. Emotionally, you're a better player, right? You're more mature. You understand your game, you understand your team's game. I think watching him play, as I think he understands what Dennis Gates wants from him, and he understands, and vice versa.
Good feed and a good finish by Brakefield.
And the moment Grill crosses half court, he's searching for areas that he can find open looks, because what happens when he moves through the zone or man-to-man, Ole Miss is going to jump out with 1 or 2 guys. Someone else is going to be open.
Bucket for Ole Miss snapped a 5-minute scoring drought. Cruz off the mark, and a rebound for Marshall. He has been tied up with Malik Dia, possession to Ole Miss. But Marshall is a load. 7-footer at 300 pounds, freshman out of Atlanta, played at overtime elite.
And continues to get a few minutes of ball game. Not a lot of minutes, just a few.
He will go to the bench now. Josh Gray coming back in. Padula brings it up for Ole Miss. Rebels trailing Mizzou by 7. Missouri extending the defense. He is in trouble, able to get it away to Dia. Dia spins in the lane and scores from 8 feet.
He's got great ability to be able to turn, get up in the air, Dia does, and to finish plays out. If you run a screen with Josh Gray as a defender, Josh Gray's the best big in the country at stepping out and stretching it out. Josh Gray rarely switches. They usually dive him back on the defensive end. But there are not many big men at 6'9" like Malik Dia that can do this. Spin move. And now when he gets to the top of the jump, he's comfortable at the release. It's not a throw. It's a terrific release. Body all under control.
Last foul for Ole Miss was on Brakefield. Gray was posting him up. Morrell able to get the steal. It ends up in the hands of Barnes. And then Ole Miss gives it right back. Trying to flip it to Dia, headed to the rim. Now Missouri in transition. Cruz for 3. No. This one is saved in bounds, but to Ole Miss. A lot of activity as Perkins saved it in. And then a steal by Grill. He touched it last, though. Able to bat it away and prevent an easy bucket. We got some pace.
Great pace. Good plays on both ends. The level of basketball is so high where you think you might have an opening like this, you don't. And any pass that you throw up ahead, you might think you have a guy open. It's too late. Good hustle by Caleb Grill on the defensive end.
7 turnovers by Ole Miss, 8 for Mizzou. Both teams with 6 steals. There's another turnover by the Rebels. Miller buys pass on the inbound, and an easy finish for Tamar Bates.
Missouri, the best team statistically on underneath out of bounds defensively at forcing turnovers, getting steals. Unbelievable. They get a couple every game.
Padula threw that one into traffic. And there was more white jersey than red jersey around.
Mismatch inside.
Dia off the glass. Can't get the roll.
Missouri sometimes funnels you into catching in the corner so they can double team. This time the ball fake, lazy pass. Great hands by Bates to Robinson, back to Bates. Unselfish both ways. Good finish by Bates. He's having another strong first half.
12 points for Bates as Dia misses the first free throw. 14th game this year in double figures. And the 6th in a row.
Partner, we've got some height coming into this game.
John Bull will come into the game for Ole Miss. Bull, freshman from originally the South Sudan, played at overtime elite. He and Peyton Marshall. How about that front line at overtime elite?
Now again, he's got a good job defensively. Aiden Shaw on the lineup for Missouri, not a score.
Robinson guarded tightly by Padula. Now he gets by him and kicks it. Grill goes by Bull, kicks it out. Extra pass, 3 on the way. 3, no.
Numbers.
Brakefield. He slammed on the brakes. Fans wanted to travel. Brakefield on the drive off the glass. A lot of contact, no whistle.
Yeah, what a tough hoop, but amazing. Ole Miss had really good numbers, and Missouri got back defensively. Terrific finish by Brakefield.
Your point about the lack of whistles. This game is really physical.
And I
on
like
both
the
ends of
pace.
floor.
And I think both teams understand what it's like. How about that?
Bull gets a block. There's no whistle. Fans are furious. Padula for three.
A lot of body usually brings a crowd in play.
Closing in on 3 minutes, 4-point game. Robinson asked for a timeout. Everybody will take a break.
There's some tired bodies on the floor.
We'll be back to Mizzou Arena. 3:11 left in the first half.
He's in Palm Springs watching.
Well, that's a good place to be this time
Not
of
too
year.
bad. We had a heat warming today. Got to 30 degrees. It's been cold.
All over the southeast. Saw the pictures from Tiger Stadium at Baton Rouge.
Oh my
with
goodness, yeah.
8 inches of snow. 4-point game, Missouri with the ball. Grill lets it fly. He's got another one. His third triple.
That was for you, Fish. There's my guy.
Maybe I need to amend my answer.
Yeah, wow.
(33-26), 7-point lead for the Tigers.
Good motion offense by Ole Miss. Against a team like Missouri, you have to have harder cuts. Make sure you cut with a purpose. Drag a defender or two with you.
Shot clock down. Pump fake. Three. Big shot by Padula.
Now, how do I know Chris Beard? Just by watching who he coached for and with. Bobby Knight always had shot fakes. Shot fake it, take one dribble, find an opening. He taught that when he first started coaching. And all of his great players, Bobby Knight's shot fake.
And one for Mitchell. Got a mismatch down low.
Sometimes you can find it, sometimes you can't. Ole Miss, Chris Beard, they live with that. Sometimes they have to give up that bucket. When they switch, offense has to be patient enough. The one thing about it, Robinson, the sophomore now, has been terrific at finding open players.
Second foul on Juju Murray. Missouri is second nationally in free throw attempts and in free throw makes this season.
And one of the big reasons would be Mark Mitchell, transfer from Duke, now at the foul line. Very aggressive at attacking the rim. I've said it before, he can finish with the left hand or the right hand around the tip.
Two minutes until halftime. Padula loses the ball. It's a breakaway. Robinson had it blocked. But it was a foul on Brakefield.
Wow, what a hustle play by Brakefield. Padula again loose with the basketball. As he spun the turnover, Brakefield did not give up on his play. He was behind. He thought he got it cleanly. Looked like a pretty good block at first. Let's see what they have at the top. Man. It's a heck of a play there. Considering
there was a lot less contact there than we saw on the John Bull block that was not called.
Great hustle play by Brakefield.
So Robinson at the free throw line where he shoots 79% for the year. Leading Missouri, 3.5 assists, almost 2 steals a game. This week's gymnastics doubleheader on the SEC Network and the ESPN app has a couple of ranked matchups. Number 10, Alabama. Number 13, Georgia, kind of the original gymnastics rivalry in the SEC. And then number 11, Mizzou, travels to the reigning national champs. Number 2, LSU. It's Friday Night Heights on the SEC Network.
Yeah, we talk about the hoops being nationally ranked. I think all 4 of those schools you just said, nationally ranked in gymnastics. Powerhouse.
Is there a sport where that's not the case?
It's the SEC.
Missouri with a 9-point lead, their biggest of the game. Here is Barnes.
And Morrell has been quiet. Playing on the bad leg.
Klafke, now Padula, into the lane. Followed, Dia won't go. Missouri a chance to open up a double-digit lead as we close in on halftime.
Again, keep an eye on Grill because he makes hard cuts away from the ball. Guys who switch, you get switched on the wrong cut, he's going to find an opening.
Robinson working against Morrell, gets it off. Gray had it knocked away, but Morrell called for the foul.
The physicality of how Anthony Robinson has played the point guard position for Missouri, not only on the defensive end, but on the offensive end, has made a huge difference for how this Tiger offense runs. You talked about his 3.5 assists a game, his steals per game. Numbers are up to 10 points a game. But I think as a point guard, he's physical enough to get the basketball to teammates in different positions. Can take any bump you want. He can take any time you want to hold him. That time he made a terrific play for Josh Gray.
For his entire career, this part of the game has been a struggle for Gray. A career 48% free throw shooter. Sorry, 45%.
Yeah, not been easy. And I think years ago, and I know no one likes to do it, I think I'd gone to the underhand method. Nobody does it.
Right.
But people did in the old days. Rick Barry's the greatest free throw shooter ever. Shot it underhand. Softer touch if you've never tried.
He's going to get another chance because Padula stepped into the lane early.
It's kind of an amazing mental mistake there. I mean, you know he's going to miss, so you got to get to rebound, but you can't. You don't want to give a guy another shot.
See if he can get it to go down with the second chance. Another. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Well,
I don't know that I've ever seen consecutive lane violence.
It's because Josh has a hitch, right? He lifts the ball to the shoulder and then it hitches. It stops. So if you haven't seen that before, you're thinking he's going to shoot it. It doesn't quite release.
So both Padula and Klafke, whose job is to block Gray out after the shot, have been called for the early violation.
So there was the hitch. They stayed put.
It only goes down as 0 for 2. But he missed all 4 attempts.
Doesn't give you confidence going to the next time you get to it.
Murray working against Grill. Contact off the glass. Big bucket from Juju Murray.
And if you're Grill, what you're thinking defensively is you're thinking Murray's going to time that hard bounce and get to his jump shot, which he likes to do. Great play by Murray. Attack it. What a difficult shot.
Grill, ball fake, 3 on the way. This one off the mark. He thought he was fouled. It was an air ball. The follow won't go, but the Gray putback is a miss as well. And now Ole Miss, shot clock off. Morrell to the corner. Padula, wide open, 3, off the mark. He missed everything. You can tell coming out of his hand.
Yep. Didn't come off cleanly. Initially, you're thinking you settle for one shot, but if you get an open look, I think you take the open look. Bad miss, wide left.
Check it on Tamar Bates. It's like the
take an elbow on top of the head.
Started out with like a sternum to the face and finished with an elbow to the noggin. So Missouri a 7-point lead, 15.7 to go. Not a rocket scientist here, but are you drawing something up for Caleb Grill?
Well, anything that has, to be honest, anything that has movement, because they like the switches. Now, what Ole Miss has done is when they've switched on Grill, they've kind of kept the guy on the top side. So let's call it switch high. That means you stay on the high side of any of your switches so that the top guy doesn't come over top of you. Grill loves to come on the top side. So if you switch high, he might have to backdoor cut. Now, I'm going to tell you something about Caleb Grill. He's one of the best cutters in the SEC. He loves to cut backdoor, act like he's coming out high, and then cut back for it. He's tough, he's physical.
Grill will inbound for Missouri, leading by 7, 15.7 left.
So with this lineup, you got Trent Pearson one corner, great shooter. Robinson, good shooter. Perkins can shoot it. Mitchell to the rim, Grill, great shooter. A number of guys that can take this shot to end the first half.
And a little smaller lineup for Ole Miss with Klafke, Murray, Morrell, and Barnes all on the floor.
Perkins, Strader, Grill outside, can't get it.
Down to 5. Pierce off the mark. It's a 7-point game at the half. Missouri 14-1 this year when leading at the break. They've won 14 in a row in this building. They're 20 minutes from making it 15 straight. Let's send you to the studio. 38-31, Mizzou up at the half. Dari taking it.
And he was open. Scouting report says don't leave him open.
He wasn't open on that one.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Catch, release. He's got great form. He's got great balance. Big, strong, physical. And Tamar Bates, it's been pretty common every ball game that at least I've done around here this season. He gets off to fabulous starts. Teammates find him. He's a great shooter. This time off a steal, easy finish. But when his stroke gets going, again, like Grill, frees up a smoother flowing offense for teammates to get open.
It's time to look in the huddle, brought to you by Regions Bank. Grill and Bates both with 12 in the first half. How about that combined 8 for 12 shooting? Rebounding advantage to Missouri, +8. 7 of those 20 coming on the offensive glass. Ole Miss started the game on an 8-0 run. Missouri countered with a 12-0 run, and then was a little back and forth after that. Sold out Mizzou Arena. Great atmosphere here in Columbia on this Saturday in late January. Mitchell. Dia had it taken away. It's another offensive board for Mizzou. Here's Bates from the wing. Ole Miss may be fortunate that ball hit the top of the backboard because Missouri was in position for another offensive rebound.
Well, two typical plays that Missouri scores on. First, Mark Mitchell point blank, rarely misses. Second time, you got Tamar Bates wide open, rarely misses the wide open looks.
Murray, Padula, Morrell, the guards, Dia and Brakefield. The bigger guys on the floor for Ole Miss. Lob it into Dia. And a foul on Trent Pierce.
It's one of those that Trent Pierce is probably not going to look over to the sideline to his coach. Coach doesn't look happy on that reach in. 6'8", 6'9" guys going to take a jump shot with his hand in his face. I just got a text from my niece at Ole Miss, Lily Best Sutton.
Yeah.
She said Matthew Morrell needs to score a few more points this half.
Probably would be helpful for the Ole Miss cause. In the first half, in 18 minutes, he had 0 points. Pretty good analysis. You might just didn't hurry your check.
She does pay attention, and good for her.
This foul is on Padula, and that is his second.
You know, the physicality of the guard position in the SEC, or whether it's our game or any game, it's really amazing. They're not the biggest players on the floor, but the bumping, the shoving, the elbowing. You've got to have the best of the guys have a pretty good lower part of the body, rear end, strong legs, so that you don't get knocked off balance as you try to make a play.
Tony Perkins, the Iowa transfer, with the first. So we've had 2 whistles in 1 minute and 2 seconds to start the second half. I don't know if we had 2 whistles in the first 10 minutes of the first half. But no question either of those were fouls also.
There's a switch up high, so when Dia goes down, Perkins has to guard him, but Dia comes outside.
Crowd wanted to travel. Murray, extra pass to Padula. The baseline drive, kicks it out. Now Murray on the drive. Shot clock at 2.
I thought Murray had a shot when he first caught it. But again, a lot of times they shot fake and they make the bounce. Not sure you can do as much of that on a help and recover team like Missouri.
Pierce ran into a wall. The wall collapsed on him and got a foul. That was Dia.
Did they call it on the floor or as he was shooting? First he motioned on the floor. I would say he was shooting. There they go.
Trent Pierce.
Let's go back. Union High School, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dari Noka, Union High School. Oh,
there you go.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Made a little detour out to Arizona Campus Prep.
His senior year went out to Arizona Campus Press. His mom, Jeanette, played college ball at Oral Roberts.
Tomorrow on the SEC Network, you have a triple header. A week from tomorrow, a quadruple header with 5 top 15 teams. It starts with Auburn at number 2, South Carolina, noon Eastern, then Mississippi State, number 5, LSU. Top 25 matchup of UK and OU, then it's Texas A&M to round it out. That is a week from tomorrow on the SEC Network.
Amazing, a guy like Trent Pierce, who is a fabulous shooter outside, only 68% from the free throw line, misses both free throws. Those kind of misses cost you ball games in this league.
Brown Jones tried to back down Mitchell, and he turned it over. Now Bates into the corner. Perkins on the drive, and you got a foul. Little bit of a hesitation on the whistle, and I think you heard the slap.
Yeah, I think it was Makeel Brown-Jones late to the action. Going for the block, and you could hear the slap even through these headsets.
So now Perkins to the free throw line. Started his 12th consecutive game today.
And he has a grimace on his face. Again, the physicality of this game.
Second team All Big Ten a year ago.
Missouri missed 8 free throws in the loss to Texas. They lost by 8 in Austin.
Matthew Morrell to the rim. I've heard lots of people say he needs to do that more.
Well, he has such a powerful first step. I know he's playing with an injury, but his game, I've always thought, predicates on either getting to the basket or the mid-range. Yes, he can make some threes. Yes, decent shooter. But if Matthew Morrell is aggressive going to the hole, I think Ole Miss is a better offensive team.
Bates with the kiss off the glass. Brakefield goes right at Pierce. Morrell catch, shoot. Missouri comes away with it.
And now they'll have numbers. Brown-Jones late.
Bates draws the foul on the drive.
So we talked in the first half that Missouri makes 20 free throws a game, second in the country. Looks like at halftime, Dennis Gates has said we need to be more aggressive at attacking the rim.
6 of 6 in the first half from the line, 2 of 8 since then.
Wow.
Well, they started 6 of 6, 2 of 8 since then.
A lot of times it depends who gets to the free throw line.
And that's not counting the lane violations.
That'll be the asterisk on the final stat sheet.
Tamar Bates. He's up to 15 points, has hit all of his free throws, 3 of 3 so far. A foul, by the way, on Jamin Brakefield was his 3rd.
So every young person, if you want to be a good free throw shooter, copy this motion by Tamar Bates. There's not a lot of motion. Just a slight knee bend, straight ahead, much like Mark Sears at Alabama. You don't have to have a whole lot of things go on. Bend, release.
Pure with those two.
Matchup zone defense. What appears to be a 4-1 zone, really a 2-3, but they extend it so widely across.
Barnes trying to dump it off to Dia and a reach-in foul. That's going to go on Anthony Robinson.
Because of the length that Missouri has on the defensive end, you can do a lot of things, whether it's man or zone. When they get in zone, they can really squeeze you in different areas. But if you're offensively, you've got to get to the middle of that zone.
Eduardo Klafke in the game. This is Burrell. Tough baseline pull-up. Okay. Bates with the rebound. Now Perkins.
And Ole Miss needs some stops. They can't let Missouri get on a roll here early. Tough.
That's a tough shot. Barnes, Missouri had a player go down. Barnes takes it to the rack. He gets the roll and a chance for a three-point play.
One body down, two bodies down, three bodies down. What a finish. As Barnes comes down the middle, take a look. Gray comes over. Body, good call. Physicality, up higher in the second half. Mizzou up 7. Ole Miss to the foul line.
Auburn able to kind of weather the storm, him missing a couple of ball games.
Hey, they were pretty good without him, and I say that, we know how great Janai is. They can play at a faster pace without him. They can do more things without him. But yeah, they welcome him back with open arms.
Joe Lunardi has Auburn as one of 2 SEC teams as a 1 seed. A couple of SEC teams on the 2 line as well. Most recent projection has 13 in the league. How about Vanderbilt? Last week they beat Tennessee. Today they beat Kentucky. The magic is back in Memorial.
So let's throw in the football win against Alabama.
Okay.
I don't know if you need to shut the place down, but it'd be a heck of a way to say we've done something we've never done. I said after Tennessee they should haul one of the baskets down Broadway, one of the goals, basketball, because they don't do that, but they should now. You beat Tennessee and Kentucky in Nashville.
Yeah.
Get that standard with the goal on it, get it on some wheels, and haul it right down and get it into the river. Just like the goal post. Start something new.
Free throw had to feel good there for David Barnes. Would have liked to have had that at the end of Wednesday night's game against Texas A&M.
6-point game. Wow, what range.
Long rebound. Perkins goes right back inside. Gray, 3 red jerseys. Had a block by Dia, but got some of the arm too. Dia picks up the foul. That is his 3rd.
And again, anytime there's switching going on, you've got a guy like Josh Gray at 7 feet, and we know Josh is a good rebounder. He was a terrific rebounder at South Carolina. When switches go on, and there's long shots with high rebounds coming off. Josh has size advantage over almost everybody in Ole Miss uniform.
The roar of the crowd for 33.
Smooth technique. Look good.
John Bowl into the game. Ole Miss's 7-footer comes in. Second one coming for Gray. But an offensive rebound. That is Missouri's 10th offensive rebound today. Perkins, drill, mid-range.
Too close.
Barnes nearly turned it over in front of the Mizzou bench.
So if that ball goes out of bounds, would there have been a whistle? Probably.
Seems like it.
Just making sure he can finish the play. I'm okay with that.
Shot clock at 5. Barnes recognizes it, has it tapped away by Grill, lets it fly. That's an air ball and a shot clock violation. The Klafke gets it back. They didn't stop the play because Mizzou had the ball.
And I was surprised. I thought it went off right when it was caught.
Klafke desperately tried to get away from it, and then a foul on Mitchell. He grabbed Burrell's arm and wouldn't let go. Feels like if there's a lot of traffic, John, you'll blow it dead and give it to the...
Yeah, terrific play by Klafke to keep playing. Now, I think it was Bates who maybe caught that when the buzzer went off. Did not have possession very long as he put it on the floor, but Klafke stayed with it. Padula has been quiet. And that answers the crowd that was yelling air ball to him. Tough kid.
Padula in double figures once again. He's got 10 points. 6th straight game with 10 or more. Brill from the corner. Rattles it home.
Scouting report. Don't give him a step. Don't give him any space. Don't help out. Make someone else beat you.
Klafke from the corner. He's shooting well over 50% from 3, just limited attempts.
And if you go on the road in a big-time conference like this, you got to have answers.
2-on-2 break. Morrell forces the issue, puts it up, and he got the roll.
Man, degree of difficulty on that shot. You imagine if you're a kid thinking, I'm going to play in the SEC, and you go, they didn't even blow a whistle on that one.
Better introduce yourself to the weight room. Great. Speaking of a guy that spent some time in the weight room. Josh Gray headed back to the line. So let's start with Caleb Grill.
Well, again, they're going to help out underneath, and it's just too late. Guy's too good. Gets the shot off too easily. Anytime you're coming after a shooter, doesn't matter if you're coming straight at him. And then Morrell on the other end has hit a couple of circus shots in this second half.
That was a good find by Tony Perkins with Grill over in the corner.
And so what I mean by a shooter's not bothered by a guy running straight at him, because it's usually too late. Great shooter, you might get their shot once in a while just because they miss time, the distance you have. Now, what bothers a shooter if you jump by them on the side of their head. Now they don't know where the hand is. They don't what. If you jump at a shooter, go to the side of it. The unknown is worse than when you know the hand's in front of you.
Gray makes 1 of 2 at the line. He's 2 of 6 in the game. Ole Miss has gotten it to 5. They haven't been able to get it beyond that. Missouri's gotten it out to 9, but they haven't been able to stretch it into double figures.
And I always think the key on the road, you got to get it to even, and then try to get a nervousness to the home crowd. Got to get it to Morrell right in the soft spot against that zone defense. Right there. Now make a play, and he does.
Goes down low to Brown Jones, and he's able to get it off the window.
And I think Morrell's that perfect guy in the middle because he can take a bounce and make mid-range shots, or make the bounce pass, or kick it the other side against his own, get open jump shots.
Gray hands it off to Grill. Murray right there.
And a good step out by Murray.
Klafke knocks it away from Gray. Missouri will inbound from the corner.
So get in the soft side of this zone right there, bounce pass. Pretty tough finish. Got a guy in front of you, a guy behind you. But Morrell's the kind of player that can make those plays down low.
Honestly, a little surprised to see Morrell make that pass. He has been such a good mid-range shooter through the years.
And I think anytime you're a good basketball player, you really survey it when you catch it to see what you have.
Cruz, pull up, dagger.
Average 19 a game at UT Martin a year ago, 43% beyond the three-point when he was at UT Martin.
No hesitation pulling the trigger. Robinson trying to come up with the steal. Missouri does. Now Robinson dumps it off and gives it away. Morrell with the steal. Rebels want to run. Murray, transition 3. Good.
Hey, partner, how great are the defensive hands on both sides of this game? Active by Robinson, and Grill knocked it away. Then the Ole Miss player knocks it away. Morrell with a hit ahead. Murray with the big 3.
Cruz going at Brown Jones. And protected the ball. Turnaround hook shot in the lane. Into the corner. Klafke turned it down. Morrell turned it down, and he's bumped by Cruz.
Well, partner, you mentioned the fact Ole Miss has not been able to get it to even yet. Missouri still by 7, but the pace is great. The active hands are great. Who takes care of the basketball best? because right now guys on the offensive end are delivering. As long as they get good looks from one end, and on the other end, Juju takes his shot. They're within striking distance. Great game.
Let's check out the good hands plays brought to you by Allstate. How about 8, count them, 8 threes for the Missouri Tigers.
Ball movement, body movement, great shooters to have on the outside. They stretch your defense. And you've got to chase and you got to run, and if you give a couple of these guys Bates and Drill any space, they make you pay.
Drill leading the way. He's got 4 threes tonight. Bates with a couple, a magic number here for Missouri. 11-0 this year when hitting 8 or more threes in a game. So they've hit that mark. Take you a step deeper in their 15 wins, 39% from 3. Tonight they're at 42%. And in those 15 wins, they average 9.5 made threes per game.
I think they've done that what they want to do. I think a big number as I start looking, 10 offensive rebounds. That gives you extra possessions. A lot of times what Dennis Gates has always talked about is the extra possessions they get by steals, right, and turnovers that they force. Tonight, 10 offensive rebounds. Huge for a team like Mizzou.
Dennis Gates, poker face in full effect. Ole Miss has tried to climb back in this game 4 different times. They have cut the deficit to 5, but have not gotten any closer.
And talking to Chris Beard this morning, he has unbelievable respect for Dennis Gates and his staff after what they went through last year, how tough they played last year, and what they've done and made the adjustments this year to be as good as they are. Great pass.
Inside, Mikhail Brown-Jones off the glass. A good find by Padula.
There are no easy baskets. Brill almost blocked it, almost took his head off.
Cruz, 5 points in the last sequence with a made 3 as a teardrop in the lane. Robinson wide open from the corner. Pierce, no. Cruz keeps it alive. And Ole Miss will come away with it. Murray on the drive. And the kick. Tough shot. Partially blocked. And then a foul on Mikhail Brown-Jones. He was trying to fight his way to the ball, trying to fight through Mitchell.
Yeah, I actually think he was trying to fight his way. He thought the ball at least would get to the rim. Good defensive block by Trent Pierce. Not a good decision on the shot by Morrell. If you don't have it, you don't have to shoot.
7th team foul on Ole Miss. So
and Missouri's in this bonus at 10:37 left.
Long way to go.
Yep.
Brakefield going to come back into the game. So 3 fouls going to the bench for Brown-Jones, 3 coming in with Brakefield. Malik Diaz still on the bench for Ole Miss with 3. Padula gets the rebound and then the foul called on Pierce. Just kind of got in no man's land there.
Might be a reason why many times you'll see Ole Miss, they're not on the free throw line when their free throw shooters shoot. You can pick up fouls like this. The only way, obviously, you get offensive rebound, but nice pass.
Padula, floater on the drive, and he left it short. Morrell comes up with a miss, dumps it off. Padula's second chance is good.
Heck of a play, heck of a find by Morrell to get another opportunity. Ole Miss within 3.
Closest they've been since 9:42 in the first half. Drill from the corner, got another one. He doesn't need much room.
Almost should play somewhat of a box and 1. Maybe not box isn't a zone, but don't leave him. He means that much on the offensive end.
Murray, tough drive, high off the glass. Cruz with the rebound. Offensive foul on Robinson. Caleb Grill is 5 of 8 from 3.
How much space do you give him? Folks, Jamin Brakefield is 6'8", running at him with a long reach. And still not good enough to get there.
And he was coming more at the angle you were talking about earlier. It wasn't straight at him.
You got to go past him. You got to have the unknown for the shooter. If where is the hand on the defensive end? But in order to do that, you have to be closer to. A hand in front of a great shooter doesn't matter to the great shooter.
Padula turns around off the window again.
Nice, good ball fake. Nice shot fake.
Brill and Bates have combined for 34 of Missouri's 57 points. Pierce bumped on the baseline by Morrell.
And that's a fortunate call because as Pierce kicked the ball out, Grill had another three in the corner and he made it. Good whistle for Ole Miss.
Potentially a couple of points as opposed to three.
Yep.
Brill and Bates have combined to go 11 for 20. The rest of the Missouri team 7 of 22.
And remember, Trent Pierce 0 of 2 from the foul line, only a 68% free throw shooter. Should be better because he is a good shooter from the outside.
Missouri made its first 6 free throws in the game. Since then, 7 of 16.
Probably can get away with it at home. Rarely will you get away with that on the road.
Ole Miss 7 of 9. Rebels cut it to 3 a moment ago. It's a 6-point lead for Missouri. Padula out to Murray. Murray has it stripped by Caleb Grill. That's another steal, the 11th of the game for Missouri. Robinson kicks it out. Grill. Pierce working on Klafke. Mismatch and a bucket. Now an 8-point game.
Something that Pierce has added to his game this year. In his freshman year, he can take you off the bounce.
Had a whistle away from the ball on Anthony Robinson, and this crowd was in absolute full throat.
And most guys can't hear the whistle, but Trent Pierce, as a freshman last year, always settled for the jump shot. This year, the sophomore season, understands where the rotation is, takes his size and his advantage right to the basket. Good finish, good pass from Grill.
8th foul on Missouri, so a 1-and-1 here for Jamin Brakefield. 75% on the year. This is the front end of the 1-and-1. He's got 9 points. $18 for Grill, 16 for Bates. Perkins working on Murray. Lost it. Morrell comes up with a steal. Decides to take it himself. Goes all the way. Left it short and a foul underneath. That's going to go on Missouri. Are they going to say basket interference or watch it again? I think they're going to the monitor.
Yeah, I don't think there was basket interference.
No, I didn't think
the
so.
shot was missed, and I think they're going to get. I thought they had Grill clearing out Brakefield.
So Caleb Grill called for the foul. It's an 8-point game. They're going to take a look to see if it is flagrant. Ole Miss.
Thought he was hit the wrong way. They've got to keep the game how they need to keep the game. Maybe the elbow shove.
Maybe.
You know, they had reunion day here with old players, and I looked out there and saw the Greg Churches and the Sam Bodys. And thinking of Norm Stewart, that's kind of how the Missouri guys used to play.
So 2 shots and the ball could be a significant sequence.
And you've mentioned it a few times. Can Ole Miss get a few stops on one end and get buckets on the other to get this to be an even game in the last 5-minute stretch?
So a moment ago, Brakefield missed the front end of a 1-and-1. He makes the first, misses the second there. Jamin Brakefield now with 10 points in the game, but it's still Ole Miss ball because of the flagrant. Little return to sender there by Mr. Pierce on the baseline.
Nice to have a guy that's 6'10", long reach. They had a lob play set up to the rim that time. And tough for Padula, who's only 6'1", to have to throw it over the top.
Missouri comes up with the steal. Bates lays it in.
Another bucket off an underneath, out of bounds from a defensive end to score offensively. Second one in this ballgame.
Malik Dia. He lost the handle. Another turnover, and then Brakefield dives in. Possession arrow to Ole Miss, so the Rebels will keep it on the offensive end. So no turnover there. 13 giveaways for Ole Miss. Missouri's turned it over 12 times.
And remember, Ole Miss came into this game 9 turnovers a ball game.
Right.
7th in the country.
Ole Miss taking a timeout. 63-54, a 9-point lead. Missouri trying to win its 15th in a row, the longest streak in the SEC. Back with you in Columbia, Richard Cross, John Sunvold. Missouri leading it by 9 over Ole Miss in a top 25 matchup. Big Saturday in the SEC. Missouri's had a couple of stars tonight. Caleb Grill and Tamar Bates have been phenomenal.
Again, I mean, this is a broken record, game in, game out. These two guys carry this team, especially shooting the basketball. And we go to most shoot-arounds, and defensive teams understand the scouting report. You can't give either player any space to get the shot off and get into a rhythm. Both have found a rhythm. Bates early, like he has many games. Gates, when he came in, and Ole Miss allowed him 2 wide open looks that got his game going.
Coming into this game, these were the top 2 teams in the SEC in steals. Ole Miss at 10.1 a game, Missouri at 10 a game. Tigers have got 12 tonight. Ole Miss has 9. .721 remaining. Missouri perfect on the season, 12-0 when they score 80. They're on pace to get close to that number.
And the key is they're at the foul line the rest of the way. And Ole Miss has to convert on there.
Ole Miss very fortunate not to turn it over there. Juju Murray.
I like the Bobby Knight shot fake, except when you play an aggressive team and you have an open look right away. Sometimes you have to take it. You're inviting the defense back in when you give them time to recover.
Missouri's made 3 straight baskets in 6 of their last 8. Bates doubled on the baseline. He finds Perkins. No. Juju Murray, shortest guy on the floor, pulls down the rebound. Dia inside, and a foul. That's on Tony Perkins.
The mobility of Malik Dia and the size at 6'9", 250. Can post you, can turn you either way, can face up from outside. Tough to defend.
Later tonight, it is Alabama hosting LSU. Bama ranked 4th in the country, currently projected as a #1 seed. Got it for you on the SEC Network, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 in Tuscaloosa. Mark Sears leading the SEC in scoring, 21 a game.
And #1 in the most active player in points in active players in college basketball.
Grill looking for the run through. Grill was able to corral it, gets his own miss, kicks it out. Bates tries a three. Got a three! For the first time tonight, a double-digit lead for Missouri.
Most coaches will teach offensive rebound. We might get a wide open three if you kick it back out.
Padula. Dia for a flat-footed three off the mark. Ole Miss has gone 3 minutes without scoring.
Flat-footed is one thing. A toe raiser towards the rim is much better.
Shot clock at 5. Bates, tough shot, draws the foul. Padula picks up his third.
And sometimes maybe you can't help it as a player, but you have to help yourself from reaching at the end. You've got good defense. You're fine. Now hands go straight up, not the swipe down. Stay up in his chops. Don't let the official think you made a swipe at it.
Don't know if that draws a whistle in the first half. We've seen a bunch more, heard a bunch more whistles in the second half.
Yeah, a lot more free throws.
Missouri just 63% from the line, but they have made more than Ole Miss has attempted.
The value of having a Tony Perkins, who's now going out of the lineup. Grad student, 4 years at Iowa, Big Ten player. When he plays and he's a calming influence to this team offensively and defensively. Now Ant Robinson comes back in at his lead guard position.
Missouri by 12. They're on a 14-5 run over almost 5 minutes.
And the Rebels need a bucket.
Dia,
nice.
Off the glass.
Padula's so good at getting to the lane and then taking his time to find. Good seal by Malik Dia.
Offensive foul, a little bit of a delay. Dennis Gates did not like it, neither did the Missouri fans.
The reaction of Coach Bates, priceless. The whistle didn't happen for at least about a second. Here's the bump, 1001, now it's in slow motion, and then the whistle blew.
See, Robinson was playing on and then was a little incredulous on the reaction. That was the 4th foul on Anthony Robinson. Watching it in slow-mo, you saw a little bit of an extension with the forearm after the bump. And I think the frustration was the delay. Malik Dia. Tough turnaround jumper. Pierce with the board.
Tough shot, even better defense.
Closing in on 4 minutes to play. 4.5 left. Missouri by 10, and a foul on Juju Murray. Martin Lennox made the call. Dennis Gates gave a little tap on the rear end after he called that one.
We got a little game going over here with the coaches. Chris Beard's probably going to try to get involved. Robinson, 79% free throw shooter. This one will probably be a swish because that was a lot of rim. And to a shooter, that's like a miss. You hit a lot of iron.
Perfect from the line tonight. 3 of 3. He's got 6 points. And Robinson had a big game and a comeback win for Missouri against Cal. He had 29 points. Was 13 of 15 from the free throw line that night.
I think it was his coming out party because he carried the Tigers to the win in that matchup, SEC and the ACC.
The lead for Missouri is 12. Brakefield, a lot of contact, able to get it up and get around Pierce, and Ole Miss will take a timeout.
How do you defend that? Woo.
10-point game, Missouri in front, trying to win at home and get to 5-2 in the SEC. Three big games coming up tonight on the network. LSU at Bama, Tennessee at Auburn, Oklahoma at Arkansas. There are three remaining undefeated teams at home this year. Missouri is one of them. They have won 14 straight, longest streak in the SEC. Tennessee 11-0 at home. Auburn 8-0 at home. That environment at Auburn Arena, Neville Arena, is phenomenal.
Almost second to none. I'll be a slave for the Bama. Phylon, Phylon, Phylon. No, second to none. And the matchup is, when you think of Auburn, Tennessee. Can Tennessee score at the pace that Auburn pushes in that building? You know they'll defend, but can they score at the pace that Auburn does? Because they will.
Think about that early meeting between Tennessee and Florida in Gainesville. Tennessee came out cold early. They ended up losing that game by 30. They were the only undefeated team in the country at the time. Missouri trying to break the press, and a timeout taken by Dennis Gates.
An unusual move by Perkins to get stuck and caught and trapped right at half court. Didn't use the dribble that you back yourself up. Once you come into the big, back up a little bit. You've got to have your partner even or behind you to swing the ball to the back.
Tomorrow we've got a triple header on the SEC network of women's basketball. A week from tomorrow, it's a quadruple header, and what a slate of games. Now, this is a week from tomorrow. Auburn at number 2, South Carolina. Mississippi State at number 5, LSU. Number 11, Kentucky at Oklahoma. And at number 7, Texas, traveling to Bryan College Station to take on Texas A&M. That is next Sunday on the SEC Network. All of those games streaming on the SEC app.
How about the finish of the men's Texas A&M game today? A&M was totally dominating that game at halftime.
Led by 22.
Amazing.
Biggest comeback for Texas in 15 years.
Yeah, what a win. What a week for the Longhorns. You beat Missouri and you beat A&M.
And how about thrill of victory, agony of defeat for Texas A&M? They steal one in Oxford against Ole Miss on Wednesday night, and then have one stolen in Austin this afternoon. One of the big differences in this game has been rebounding. Missouri, a team that was 14th in the SEC in both rebounding and rebounding margin, plus 10 tonight. Caleb Grill is human.
If he'd have made that one, you might have to just turn out the lights.
You gonna sing it?
No.
The party's over?
I remember.
Padula on the drive. Dia for the follow, but a whistle, and Padula draws the foul.
Did they call that on the Padula drive? Did he have it? Yeah. Anthony Robinson's 5th, if that's who it was on.
Okay. Anthony Robinson finishes with 7 points. Made just one shot. It was a 3. Other points came from the free throw line. He did have 7 rebounds. So Tamar Bates back into the game for Missouri as Robinson goes to the bench with Padula at the free throw line, leading Ole Miss with 14 points.
Changes Missouri a bit, I think, on the defensive end. Yes, Perkins is very good. I think Robinson is more of an elite on-ball defender.
Well, the free throw line has not been a great spot tonight for Ole Miss, 10 of 15.
And Padula's a good free throw shooter, 81%. Career 83%.
Tonight he's 3 of 5. Missouri with a 9-point lead, 3:40 to play.
Spacing, move the ball, see the floor, see the middle of the floor. Now Ole Miss gets back in their man-to-man defense. Keep an eye on Grill and his movement off the ball.
Being guarded by Morrell. Mitchell with the kick. Pierce on the drive. That is an offensive foul. Big collision in the lane.
Sometimes a player makes it an easy call for the official. You put your head down. with no idea of change in direction. That can't be more clinical than taking a charge than Brakefield did there.
Popped up in a hurry, took a shoulder right to the middle of the chest. Missouri at a spot in the game where they need to protect the basketball, going to have to make free throws down the stretch. Ole Miss in a spot where they got to make shots.
Or make free throws. Clock stops, a little contact. Mark Mitchell wonders about that one again. A lot more whistles on less contact in the second half than the first. Frustrates a player. Now Brakefield goes back. He's missed a couple free throws in the second half. Especially on the road, you must make these free throws.
Jamin Brakefield, 75% on the year, just 2 of 5 from the line tonight. Makes the first. What does Joe Lunardi think about the postseason for the SEC? He thinks a lot of teams are going to get in. Texas in that last 4 in. Ole Miss currently projected as a 5 seed. Missouri is 7. Couple of number 1s, couple of number 2s.
And there's room for these teams to move up on that list.
All 16 teams in the SEC in the top 100 of the net rankings.
Wow, got away with a careless pass. Matthew Morrell was about 2 inches from tipping that one and making an interception. Mark Mitchell has been quiet.
Get the switch. Brakefield. Late closeout on Bates, and he buries one.
A mistake by any defender against a shooter. Don't play with your hands down. It allows a shooter to focus in on the rim while he's timing his bounce.
Malik Dia from the corner. Off the mark with a 3. Tamar Bates with a rebound.
What a huge swing. You make a 3 on one end, and then I think an ill-advised 3 on the other.
26 points tonight for Tamar Bates. He's made 4 threes. Combination of Grill and Bates, 9 triples. Here's Mitchell on the drive, and he is fouled on the way to the rim.
Take a look at what Tamar Bates is going to do on this play against Brakefield. Brakefield's taller. All he's doing is timing him up, hands drop down, boom, right in his grill.
That is our IHOP Player Spotlight, brought to you by IHOP. I didn't have lunch. I could use some pancakes. Missouri by 11, 2:09 to play. 4 fouls now on Juju Murray. The lead for Mizzou is 12. Lost their SEC opener, won 4 in a row, lost at Texas earlier this week. Tough pull-up 3 from Morrell, and Ole Miss takes a quick timeout.
Wow, tough shot. Really good defense. A tougher make than most guys can handle.
7 points now for Matthew Morrell. That's his first make from deep.
And all of them in the second half, but this is right. Caleb Grill is right on him, and the pull-up in a must situation for the Rebels. They'll have to put more full court pressure on. They're going to try to figure out how they can turn this Missouri team over and not foul them. Because the reality is, if you put Missouri on the free throw line, take a look at their net, the DPI, quad 1 wins. It's been tough the last 2 ball games they've lost. Very close ball games. Overtime at Mississippi State, and then the home loss to A&M, which you led the whole ball game. You come on the road, it's not easy in the SEC, and you run into a team like Missouri that is shooting as well as they're shooting, tough to win.
Ole Miss has 3 straight home games coming up. They'll play Texas, and then Auburn, and then Kentucky. Look at Missouri's tournament resume. Net good, under 30. This would be a 3rd quad 1 win. They've got the win over number 1 Kansas. That road win at Florida, well, that one's going to play. In the same way that Ole Miss's road win at Alabama will stick with them all the way
No
through.
doubts, and they were on the same night. And when Ole Miss, I thought, dominated Alabama that night, and Missouri dominated Florida, even though the game got close. They were up 18 in that first half.
Prior to Wednesday night, Ole Miss had not lost back-to-back games all season. They are in danger of 3 in a row in league play after a 4-0 start.
I asked Chris Beard this morning about what the reaction was after the loss to A&M, because they were gutted. I mean, they just thought that game was theirs. He said, you know what, you move forward. It's not a one-and-done tournament like the NCAA. You move forward. He said, I've actually been on the other side of those too.
Burrell got a hand on it.
Pierce can't go away from the ball. He's got to come to the ball.
They're going to take a look to make sure that that was indeed touched last by Ole Miss.
And Bates throws the ball, and as Pierce, he really doesn't come meet it. Go across. If he does, he probably is going to get fouled because Morrell's going to shoot the gap and try to make the steal. Now they're going to take a look to see if it did hit Trent Pierce's hand.
Burrell makes contact, and that's going to be Ole Miss basketball.
Well, here's the bad part.
You can't go back and add a foul, though, can you?
Here's the bad part.
After review, the call is reversed. It will be red basketball.
So the bad part is, yeah, it's out on Pierce, but the only reason it's out on Pierce because Morrell grabbed his arm, right?
Never touched the basketball.
Yeah, grab the arm. So it's really a foul. But Ole Miss has a chance. Remember the play, they tried to run the lob dunk from underneath out of bounds one time. It was blocked by Pierce. There have been also 2 possessions from underneath out of bounds. Missouri has made the steal and laid it up on the other end.
You pointed out earlier, Missouri's inbound defense best in the SEC.
Best in the country.
Which is also the SEC.
Yeah, part of it. Maybe that's the only part of the league.
It's time a safe pass into Brakefield. Loses the handle, gets it back. Burrell pulls. Dia kept it alive. This time it's touched last by Morrell, and it will be Missouri basketball.
And Chris Beard quickly up, and he wants the same defense pressure that he had last time to force a turnover. Missouri had a problem with this the first game of the year against Memphis.
But now you got a hand on it. Now they break the press.
And now you have numbers. Bring it back. Run clock. And if you're a good free throw shooter, just make sure you keep it in your hands. Move the basketball. Make free throws.
Turnover by Missouri.
Wow, what a crazy pass. Simple things. Don't leave your feet. Don't jump up first and then throw it. Step through double team. Keep it tight to your chest. Step through. Make a chest pass.
Murray dumps it off to Dia. Gets it up. Got the roll. 15 points from Malik Dia.
Murray hanging out on the baseline. Perkins saw him.
Grill able to induce the contact there from Brakefield. That was a pretty savvy play by the vet.
Smart play. Even a better play by the other vet, Tony Perkins. When they inbound the play, Juju Murray was kind of hanging out over by the cheerleaders. Thought he could sneak in and make the steal. Perkins saw him.
Caleb Grill at the free throw line. 72%.
Surprising number.
Really is. For somebody that shoots as well from deep.
It's a lot of iron. If he was an 80% free throw shooter, I would say this is all net, because that is like a miss to a good shooter. But 72% might be a little sketchy.
Got them both. Still a 9-point game, 70 seconds to play. They go right to Dia, and he had it knocked away. Dennis Gates and most of the 4,000 students in this building asking for a review, and they will get it.
Did they see it more cleanly than the officials did?
Maybe. There seemed to be a great deal of confidence
right away
from all of the students.
Right away.
But it might have been wishful thinking.
Yeah, it's hard to overturn.
This is the first of 4 in a row for Missouri against ranked opponents. Their 4-2 start in league play is the best since the 2012-2013 season. Got to go to Starkville, go to Knoxville, and then host Texas A&M over the next 3.
That's some kind of schedule coming up.
But it feels like everybody in the league has a stretch like that.
It is.
After review, the call stands. Red ball.
If we were in a football stadium, we would say you have to have indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field.
I thought he was telling the Antlers to have a red ball. Maybe I misunderstood that wrong. Minutes to go, got to score quickly, got to foul quickly, got to try to steal quickly. Everything's got to happen in a hurry.
Comes into Morrell, there's a block, gets his own miss, goes back up, and Bates secures the rebound for Mizzou. There's the foul, that's the 5th on Brakefield. Mitchell going to go to the line, and this sellout crowd feeling it.
Excellent defense by Missouri. Mark Mitchell challenging. Morrell, a warrior, staying with it. Not easy, still fighting in it. 1, 2 attempts, the rebound by Bates, and as they were moving the ball up, Mark Mitchell held it. If he just makes another over the pass, they've got 2 more passes they can make. Probably ticks off another 12, 13 seconds.
So Brakefield's night is done. He finishes with 14 points in 28 minutes. Mitchell short with the free throw. Pretty simple. Up 9, less than a minute to go. You make free throws, you win.
Yeah, pretty simple. And again, the other party, as Ole Miss has to score in a hurry. Nice soft token pressure defense.
Dia lays it in. 17 points for Malik Dia to go along with 7 rebounds. Rill's got some space, and Dia gets a hand on it, picks up his 4th. Missouri a chance to get to that magic number of 80 here with Caleb Grill going to the line.
Talked earlier about the variety of offensive players that Missouri has that can beat you on any given night. And the number of guys that shoot the ball so well, and from an offensive standpoint, easy to run plays for, easy to run motion offense. They're an unselfish team. Very difficult to game plan for. If you take one guy away, someone else is going to get open. And tonight it's been Bates and it's been Grill off the bench. Grill, another terrific night in SEC play.
22 points, a perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line. 4th time this year that he has had 5 or more threes in a game. Morrell got the 3. It puts him in double figures. There was some question earlier today as to whether or not Matthew Morrell was going to play in this game. It was kind of a tentative first half where he was scoreless. He has not seemed to see any ill effects of the ankle in this second half.
Yeah, he only took 1 shot in the first half, did not make that shot. Second half, he's been much more aggressive. Now, late in the game, you're forced to be aggressive late in the game. You're forced to take the shots. But there were questions this morning, last night when they came in, that would he play at all? Dre Davis has not played. He was injured, has not played.
Another free throw for Perkins. Got them both. Klafke Now Murray.
How about the defense not allowing shots to get up easily?
Pierce gets the rebound, a foul by Ole Miss. That should do it. A 9-point lead for Missouri. Under 30 seconds to play. And got some Mizzou fans that feel comfortable enough to try and beat a little traffic now.
Pretty good ball game. Ole Miss came in. I thought they played well. Too many mistakes. Turning the ball over, which you'll do against Missouri. Second mistake defensively, allowing spacing to Bates or Grill to get shots up. And then the other thing, Missouri offensive rebound, rarely see it like they did today.
13 turnovers tonight for Ole Miss, leading to 18 Missouri points. Talked a lot about steals coming in. Both teams hit double figures. Missouri with 12, Ole Miss with 10. Tamar Bates and Caleb Grill, too much tonight, though, for Ole Miss. As Morrell gets another bucket.
Chris Beard told me again this morning that thinks Dennis Gates ought to be National Coach of the Year for what he's done.
Pierce content to run out the clock. The combination of Tamar Bates and Caleb Grill, 48 points for Missouri. The Tigers have won 15 in a row at home. They are now 5-2 in the SEC, and they very much have the first couple of weeks of March marked out on the calendar.
SEC hoop is great every game. Fun afternoon.
Missouri gets the win at home to stay perfect inside Mizzou Arena. Let's send it to the studio. Dari Nokman.